welcome back. Waiting for the mailman to bring our shift knob, which I'm like super pumped about. But regardless, what I figured I'd do is run these new training lines, like the small plastic control lines. The problem that I'm having, I don't know where to get this shit, and this stuff is so old and like destroyed, like it's impossible to run the line through this. So it's just not gonna happen. We're gonna have to run them just bare uncle for now. So it'll be all right. We'll see if we get an STD or not, but I'm hoping we don't have no problems. I don't think we're gonna drive this truck like a ton. So I'm gonna put y'all on a time lapse. I already ran the one. I got a friggin' diagram that shows where the shit goes. Don't know if this shows, or it's probably easier to like, I'll just maybe insert it in the video. That's probably even smarter proposition. Idiot. So I'll put you on a time lapse like I said, and we'll run the last two together. There's 3 lines for this deal. Well, boys and girls, we got all our lines loosely run. They're all left a little bit long right now. What we're gonna do is once the shift knob actually shows up, what we're gonna do is go through and, like right now I ran them all the same way here like this. We'll go through with small zip ties and we'll make like a nice little harness, runs all the way up. It will be perfect. And then I've got them labeled. I labeled the ends. So there's S, F, and R. They're all labeled so that because of the same color, I don't know where they go, you know, just by looking at them. So that's why I labeled them, because it's through the 3 ports up there we got to do. So that's about the gist of it, boys. We'll do that when the shift knob gets here. In the meantime, also, I'm waiting on a UPS truck. They brought me well, they're bringing me line so I can do that reservoir line. Actually, you know what? There's really no reason for me to even do that. Once I got it off and apart, that was like the nicest line on the truck. So I don't know if that was like the last to get done or whatever. So as soon as they drop that off, I'll cut it to size and install that, and then we can fill the hydraulic system and fire the truck up again. So yeah, I'll bring you back. Alright, boys, well, we got the power steering line on. That's done. We're gonna do some zip ties and stuff in here and make this a little bit cleaner. Like, just try to keep everything as far away from the valve cover as I can. Try to zip tie some of these up like that. That'll be friggin' mint. More importantly, boys, I got my shift knob finally. I could have swore I had a goddamn razor blade out here. He's got razor blades. Look at the fucking packaging. Can you guys even fucking see me? God. Idiot. Bro. You got this thing wrapped. Oh yeah. Big Tex, I cannot thank you enough for this, bro. Look at that. Oh, it's like perfect, boys. Look at her. Just friggin' minty. I love it. So we gotta get this put on a truck now. Oh man, I just want to shift it now. So we gotta put our threaded doodly doos in here and finish our lines and we'll be good. So let me go get a handful of small zip ties. We'll tidy this up. We'll work our way forward and put the fittings in here. I need the fitting juice for sealing the threads and that'll be the deal. So hang tight and I'll be right back. Alright boys, welcome back. Here's what we got. We have done some tying up. She's looking pretty minty. I went ahead and put the receptacles into the thing and lubed the thing so it's ready to go. And I was able to get some of it through the wrap. So I put the wrap back on, like back here where all the movement's gonna be. And we got a zip tie to the shifter. We got the boot ready to go down. And she's just chilling. So I didn't want to like get too far ahead and then you guys would be mad at me. This is probably gonna take a minute. It's like fiddly as frig, so I'm gonna skip ahead. Or I'll just time lapse you. Boys, we fucked up. We fucked up bad. I don't know what the deal is, but apparently moving or trying to move this part inside the other part just made it like 10 times worse. I just started it and it just runs out from in between these two pieces. Like runs out. Like it's fucking leaking bad. Like there's no point in even doing the lines. It's leaking that bad. So luckily I ordered one because I had a hunch. So that's great. I guess I was like really pumped, so I wanted to see if the tranny shifted. Like to try to run it, you know, and now I can't even do that because it's just like I'm gonna have an uncontrollable puddle down there. So maybe I'll do it anyway. I don't know. I'm kind of bummed. Hang tight. Alright boys, so before you go getting all fucking mad at me, shit got a little wild. I'm not like pumped about it, but I think it'll make life easier. So I started chasing airlines, and then, you know, one thing led to another thing, and we ended up pulling the motor apart. So it's just an exhaust manifold. Don't freak out on me. Listen, I'm a little, it had to come out the bottom. I didn't see that coming. Okay, so maybe I'll learn something from this experience, but probably not. So let's talk about this. The reason why you're looking at what you're looking at is because none of these other lines here that I have to replace were in the factory brackets. See how much room there is in that bracket there? And you guys know I can't do that. I can't do that. So we're pulling the brackets, or we're pulling the airlines out. We're gonna do this entire block back right now. I'm gonna start making a diagram here in a minute so I know where shit goes. But I legit couldn't get to much. I couldn't get to this clamp or anything over here with that manifold in the way. Like, you can't even get your hand in there, and you can't get to it from the bottom because there's a starter and then a goddamn rat's nest. So I know it doesn't sound like it, but it was my only option. So we got one line out already. That ran all the way from that junction up there through here and all the way back to the top port on the brake valve. Right there, you see where it's disconnected. And we had traced that line the other day. It wasn't the one we had to move, but I still traced it. Sorry, you're gonna have to forgive me. My allergies are killing me. I think I'm allergic to taking shit apart. So what's next is we got to get that bracket off of the frame on the inside here. The big hose bracket. We're gonna get that off there, and then we're gonna start pulling all the lines out one by one. And the other part of that is I can't get to half of these that are back there, so I need to do. You could see them, like it's pretty bad. I gotta get to those, and the only way to do it is to take this entire block off of the frame and then try to sneak in from, like, try to rotate it and then sneak in from the backside. So unfortunately, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I think a lot of this is gonna probably end up being off camera, just because this is like a total friggin' nightmare. Well, I also took the airline off the trans. We're gonna do that one while we're here because it's right here. Easy does it. Put that in the pile. The shitty part is a lot of these I'm gonna have to do because they weren't routed in the factory manner. Like, you can see this one is just dangling and all shitty. I'm gonna have to bring the line, the whole roll out here, and then feed it through the frame little by little and route it to where it's gotta go, and then like cut it and then put the ends on it, and then rinse and repeat for every goddamn line in this truck. Unfortunately, because I wasn't the first one to touch it. So I did this on my yellow and white Peterbilt, the 359 extended hood with the V12, but luckily, I mean, literally everything on that truck was untouched. I don't think it had an airline ever replaced. But I mean, whatever, different conditions. So that only had 300,000 miles on it. So it wasn't like it was, I mean, it's only got 6, but it makes a difference. And it makes a difference when people play with shit that, like, are either, like, trying to go to work the next day with a truck. Like, there's different circumstances, right? What we're doing here is a restoration. So I understand that when you got to get the truck to work the next day, right, you're willing to make a compromise and maybe not pull the exhaust manifold off to put the line in the factory fucking holder. I don't have to work this truck tomorrow. I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. So we're going to do it the way Peterbilt did it, or as close to it as I can get. And that's the deal. So stay tuned. I'll bring it back when something happens. Ah, god damn it. Oh yeah, boys. Might be able to get to something now. Alright, save the factory hardware. We will reuse it. Oh god, these things are a pain in the ass. Every time I buy a Cabover, I swear I'll never buy another one. And what do? Idiot. Buy another one. So the particular line that I'm trying to get to is a green one right there. I don't know if you can see it. But we're going to pull all 3 of those off. Well, all 4 of those off right now. So I'm going to just do that and then I'll holler back at you. Alright, boys. Excuse me, sorry about that. We're back. I did get that taken apart. All the lines are off except that one. I forget where that one goes now. I know where it goes. I made a friggin' chart here. Anyway, I got all them lines out of here. Look at this friggin' mess that we pulled out of this truck. This was just now. Look at all these friggin' lines, boys. And look at this one. This is the worst line. I thought those coolant lines were bad. Look at this friggin' thing. It's like a metal rod now. Like you could see it's just the inner sheathing is left. And it's like petrified apple cores. It's wasted. Super cool. Anyway. That's where we're at. Things got a little crazy on me today. It's gonna be a long road forward from here, but I think I have most of the stuff I need. I think maybe tomorrow the only thing I have to go to the store for is some more number 6 ends. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that I need, and I don't know that I have 6 of them, and I'll end up needing more as we go along. So I'll have to take a look and see what I got, but that's where we're at. I'm calling it a night, dude. I'm friggin' beat. I'm like absolutely just filthy between crawling around in the sand and just grease from this pile of shit. Oh, so I'm calling it a night. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, welcome back, boys. Another day, another lost dollar. Today, what we're gonna do, boy, look at the fucking mess I made. Look at these lines, guys. I've never seen them this bad. Like, I thought them coolant lines were bad. These air lines are like worse. Super impressive. So today's project is to replace that mess with something a little bit more usable. We're going to start with this hose here, which it's a -10 line, and it ran from this junction block up here, that big port there, and it feeds the treacle from the main air tank. So comes out of the tank here somewhere. If I can find it. Yeah, down there. Comes right out of there and goes all the way up and in. So our first step is going to be to replace that line. But here's the issue: these lines weren't run, we'll say, the way I would have run them. So I can't just cut the hose to that. I mean, I suppose I could cut the hose to that length and then trim a little bit off. That's probably actually easier. But either way, I got to make a bunch of cuts. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set it. We're going to screw this end on to the air tank. And then, well, actually, I'm going to feed this back this way through all the factory routing clamps. I'll put these back on momentarily. And get that situated in there and clamped on, and then we're going to come back up here, mark our hose where the fitting ends, like right here where the hose slides all the way up into the fitting, and then we'll cut it, and then we'll come back out here and reinstall it. So that's the plan. It's allergy season here, so I apologize for the sniffles, guys. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but it's like I can't even breathe. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start there, but it's gonna be all time lapse, and because I'm not real sure how much of this you're gonna be able to see. There's literally no way for me to get a camera in here for most of it, so I'm just gonna kind of try to do a brief overview of like running the line, marking it, and then whatever. So that's the plan. That's what we'll do. Let's get going. All right, boys. Well, got a little bit distracted. Maybe not distracted, but I fell down the rabbit hole again. And some of you doing all these lines, I didn't really want this to look like a total piece of shit anymore, so I started like just kind of scraping the grunge, cleaning it off. So you see the rail is actually bare now down there, like it's down to paint, and that took quite a bit of effort. And I did all the way up through here. Let's fixing to get nautical, fellas. God damn it, I'm trying to work. We're just gonna have to work in the rain. So check this out. Oh yeah, that was like covered in filth. Like I don't know if you could tell from, it all looked like that, but worse. You can see what it used to look like. I mean, literally, I scraped shit off that was like ½ inch thick the whole way down the rail. And the reason I did that was I wanted to clean the ground, so I cleaned that ground. I cleaned the ground on the engine block, and then I replaced this clicks-on circuit breaker because these can be trouble. And if I didn't do it now, while I have everything off and the exhaust manifold off, it would have been a total friggin' nightmare to do later. So I just put that on there now. The hell with it, it'll be fine. Like that's the way to do it, like since we have everything apart. So yeah, now we can actually run our line. But that took far more hours than you guys would care to believe. So, back to it. Alright fellas, welcome back. As usual, we got a little carried away. Here's where we're at. It's about 10,000 lines. The good news is I've got like 90% of them done. There's still a lot I need to go from the junction block back to like the fifth wheel release and the inner axle diff lock. I think those are the only two real long dash 4s I got left. Then we still got to do back here. I didn't touch back here yet, but let's go under the truck. I'll show you what I've been doing all this time. I got tired of getting rained on and trying to make videos and trying to do lines, so I just decided to just get rained on and make lines and not videos. But here's what we got. Line to our tranny's new. All these lines are new. They're all nicely tucked up in there. Everything is friggin' new now. Come all the way over to, let's see here, hang on. Come all the way over to this side here. Comes around. And then I also did that line coming from the compressor, and I don't remember if you guys saw that, but that was like, it was hydraulic hose up there, and then it split. It had a big loop in it down here. It wasn't tucked into any of the friggin' hose protectors or nothing. So like we got like 90% of this. I I still got to do that dash 6 line you see running across there. I may have enough line for that, but it's going to be sketchy. I'm not sure what else to really tell you. We got to run one more dash 4 coming back to come to the diff lock, because this thing desperately needs the diff lock. If you remember from our video where we took it down the driveway and managed to get stuck about 75 times. So we've got to do that, and I still got to run the dash 4 to the quick release for the brakes. But in the meantime, what I got to do is run it. We got to fire it up, run it, and find out which ports on the block are actually to, like, the diff lock and the quick release, blah, 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 blah. Like, I want to just triple check, because those lines were so rotted and destroyed, and I think some of them have been rerouted. So we got to look at that. But that's where we're at. Just give you a little quick update. Next, once I crawl out of here, we'll run it. Next you see me, we'll be running it and checking to see what does what. Go from there. Stay tuned. Sounds like we're building air. What is air looking? That line. We'll get a friggin' wrench. We'll be back. Alright, we got our air leaks fixed. Just had to tighten them with a wrench. I didn't really tighten them much because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to take them back off or whatever. And that shit is a pain in the ass. With the little, I forget what you call them, ferrules. You know, that pinch the line. Once you put them in there, man, they ain't coming back out. So I was trying like hell not to have to rank them down real good, but no such luck. Now what we're gonna try to do is see if we can see if I can reach the damn diff lock. Fucking probably not. Okay, I've got it now. It's still. I really wish this would cooperate with me a little bit more today. One, 2, 3, fourth one down. Fourth one down on that right hand side. So now that I got that, I'm gonna quick make up a line and we'll be back. So I got my line, I'm gonna crawl into the truck and do what is essentially the worst job ever, running lines. So I'm gonna get to this and we'll bring it back. All right, our new line is all ran. And I took the liberty, this is it here, there. Took the liberty of replacing this side of it too because it was just huffing like crazy. I mean, the line was split right in half. Nobody's ever done those two. That one, the fifth wheel, hasn't been done. So our next one is gonna be we gotta do the park brake release valve, but I'm like totally out of friggin' line again. Used all number 4, used all that number 6 we bought. Oh, you know what we could do? I'll be right back. I got those coolant filters, so we can get that done. Like running out of things to do now. Frig, hang on. Alright boys, well we're back. I got a bunch of these new old stock off of friggin' eBay. They're probably ancient. There's something in the bottom of them. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, if she's gonna spritz us or not. We're gonna find out. Worst case, I did bring my line clamps, so. Perfect. Oof. Good Lord. Boys, look at this friggin' thing. I'm kind of curious if there's even like water. Like, is that thing plugged? Might be. I don't know. Look at this friggin' thing. Oh. Actually, the coolant inside of it looks pretty good, though. Ain't mad at that, huh? Oh, yeah. Let's get the new one on there and stop monkeying around. Actually, this one's full, so that thing can't be plugged. I'm just kind of surprised it didn't spritz me. Maybe it's got a check valve? I don't know. Nobody knows. I'll open this valve here. Now we should be able to filter coolant. But I think this one was, pretty sure this one was leaking at the bottom. Click. Alright. This thing has kind of always had a wet spot right here. I think it's rusted right there. Oh, maybe it's right on the edge here. That's where it is, I think. Right there. I wonder if we give it a whack. Oh boy, there's some friggin' schmoo in there, fellas. Oh, there it is. Shit, now I gotta get it in the house. Later. Oh, boys, welcome back. Been a couple days. It's done nothing but rain like the past 3 days, and I just had enough of crawling around in this muddy freaking sand chasing these lines. So I didn't do it. But today I'm out here busting my ass, and we got all the lines done in this block, on this back side of this block, with the exception of one line And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it or not yet. It's just dash 4. It's a pain in the ass to get to. It's down there. It goes from the wet slippery road brake valve on the dash, which limits the pressure to the front brakes. It goes to that pressure limiting valve on the front cross member. And it works, and it doesn't really seem to leak right now, so I think I'm just gonna send it, boys, and put this back together, because I'm really kind of tired of looking at it the way it is. But all these lines are done. We're all plumbed in back there. Here, it's pretty nice. Once I bolt the line clamps down, she'll be right as rain. But we did everything. I even did the lines I wasn't intending on doing, like this one for the 5th wheel slider, because I didn't want to waste the line, but at the same time, to get the lines in and out of these holders here, I have to pull the exhaust manifold. So I figured if I just replace them all at one time, it makes my life so much easier. And that other line that I didn't do, I don't have to do that for that one, I don't think. I think I can get to it with that block mounted back on the frame and just moving some other lines. I'm pretty sure I can get to that later if I have to. So we're just going to put this all back together now. I'm not going to record, I mean, it's literally like bolting clamps onto the frame up. I'm not going to record that. But then the next thing that we have to do is in here. You see that valve right there? That's the tractor protection valve. And oh, can you see that? Let me see. You see that thing? That aluminum looking thing. We got to replace that. That thing is junk, and I believe that's the issue that I'm having with the brakes bleeding through the service line when there's no trailer attached. So we're gonna put it. I got a new one of them. We're gonna put that on. Alright, well, we're back. We got our lines all secured, both sides. Our valve is secured, replaced. And now, other than, I gotta find that freaking air leak, it's driving me nuts. But anyway, I'm sure there's still a billion air leaks. Now when we hit the brake pedal, we no longer hear a massive hiss. And it holds pressure when you hit the brake, because we're no longer pushing air. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I plugged these off because the lines are terrible, and I mean, this thing ain't gonna have a trailer behind it for years. So I'm not replacing them lines just yet. I'll do them dead last when I'm done with everything else. But the other valve was indeed bad. I took in the shop just to make sure like little sanity check, you know, like I brought it into the shop and I put shop air through the tractor service side. And when you do that, there's no air pressure on the top of the valve. And so there should be nothing come out of your trailer service or your trailer emergency. And it was just hissing out of there. So I know the seals inside are either bad or the thing is just stuck in, you know, in the down position. But, you know, whatever. It's easy, quick and easy to replace it. It ain't gonna hurt nothing to put it in there anyway. So that's all done now. We're bolted back up here. All our lines are secure against the frame down here with the factory pad in the way, you know, to prevent scuffing. All the line holders in here are tight. Everything is tight and ready to go. So next, what we can do is I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. My buddy's invited me up to camp, so I'm gonna go have some fun. But next, like I said, we got to do the leveling valve, and we could put this exhaust manifold back on, which is, I cannot wait to do that. This thing sounds like shit the way it is, and it's driving me nuts. You can't get near it to rev it up because it's just ear-piercingly loud. So that'll be next. I did order the steering valve. Turns out you could still get them brand new from Garrison. And the guys at Garrison were great people so far. They were really more than willing to work with me on it. So that's awesome. And I didn't, you know, they didn't sponsor me or nothing like that. I just called them up and I was like, hey man, I need this valve. You know, I'm not like a shop or nothing, you know, I'm just restoring an old truck. And they gave me like 150 bucks off it, just, you know, straight off the rip. The only downside is it's gonna be about 2 weeks lead time on it, because they're backed up, they're busy. So whatever, I told them, you know, get to it when they can get to it, and you know, I'll definitely take it. So that's coming. And so yeah, the plan is I think we're ready now, with the exception of that power steering valve. I don't know if that'll make it in before the show. Like I said, so I think it's September 11th is the Boston Spot Truck Show, and I always go every year. It's a great show. You guys should really come out, come see me. This video is probably going to be, man, I don't even know if this video will make it out before then. We'll see. If I have enough content, I'll advance the schedule, but whatever. Yeah, that's going to do it for here. We're going to, like I said, when I see you next, hopefully tomorrow morning, we'll come out and we'll bang the rest of this out, and then maybe we'll go for another ride. Hang tight.